Hello, everybody, and I am here with Mr. Dirk Rowley from Wing 15. It's a pleasure to have you, Mr. Rowley.
It's good to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
You're welcome. So my first question I have for you is, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little about your role at Wing 15?
Sure. So I'm an evening anchor at 5, 6, and 11. I anchor 5 and 6 with Alyssa Ivinson. At 11, it's Taylor King, and I have a wife and 3 kids and 3 grandkids, and have been in Fort Wayne since 1989, give or take a few years, and like my job, and it's been fun.
All right. So what first got you interested in broadcasting? Like, how did you break into the industry?
Not intentionally. I thought I was going to be a lawyer in high school, and then gave a speech contest, actually 2 years in a row in Grant County, 5 high schools there, so 5 speakers for the Rotary Club. I came in 3rd both years, so I was right in the middle, very average public speaker. But then my senior year in high school, the general manager of the local radio station said, "I didn't really like your speech, but your voice is pretty good, so would you come work for us part-time?" And started working full-time in high school through college, and that started the radio career. And then after graduation from Taylor, came up here in 1989.
Oh, all right. You've been in the news business for a while. How has the industry changed throughout the years?
Well, the most obvious one, the internet has made everything crazy, fast. And for TV, it's great because we can go a lot more in depth on the internet, but we also then it's like 2 different audiences. So we want to try to get news online as fast as we can. There's never a deadline. There's one way to look at it, or there's always a deadline is the other way to look at it. So we don't have to wait until 5. We can share news as it happens. Social media, you can share news as it happens. And so that, kind of makes the product a lot harder it makes the broadcast, I guess, less appointment television, because you can be fully informed and never watch the 5 or 6 or 11 o'clock news.
Yeah. So what's the day in the life of a news anchor? Could you walk us through your routine?
Sure. Normally, I will get into work at about 2:30. We have a editorial meeting, a pitch meeting, I guess, at 3 o'clock. So everybody goes around the room, like, what story should we cover tonight? Now, they already did that earlier in the day at 10 in the morning to figure out what they were going to put in the 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock news. And then we're working mostly on what's going to happen at 11. And so then I start to read what's already been written. So our producers for 5 and 6 get in about 9:30 in the morning, and they're working all day for the 5 o'clock and the 6 o'clock newscasts. I read what they've got. I help edit it. I change the language so it's something that I'm comfortable saying. Fact check, all that stuff. Most of it's pretty good when I get there. It's mostly just tweaking. And then do the actual news at 5 and 6, and then have a little lunch break, come back and do the 11 o'clock.
All right. My next question is, live TV can be unpredictable. Have you ever had an on-air moment that didn't go as planned?
Sure. I mean, there's, equipment failure on TV happens all the time. We're using the technology that is, we're broadcasting back to the station with a device that basically uses a cell phone signal. So, if you ever try to get a cell phone out of something that's really packed, that doesn't work. It's less, sometimes we're better off in the middle of nowhere with a pure unadulterated cell phone signal than we are in the middle of a crowd, which is kind of frustrating because that's usually a big news story if there's a big crowd. When I hosted a little TV talk show for a while, and we had the pet of the week, and the pet was really rambunctious and running around on the floor on a leash, and dog chewed right through the leash and then just ran off the set. And so that's probably the worst thing that's happened. Most of the live TV and the news, you kind of script it. It's kind of expected. Hopefully things go as planned.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So what is something people might not realize about working in the TV industry?
Do people still think it gets there's a lot of money in it? Like we all get paid a lot? Because that's not true. Obviously things change. We try to be really rigorous in making sure everything we say is true and accurate and fair. We don't rush. We would rather be right than first. First is good, but right is more important. And I don't think I think people estimate like our website has this slew of editors, like there's, 20 people reading every story. It usually is maybe one person writes it and another person reads it. And, we occasionally make mistakes, but we try to own up for them and fix them as soon as we can.
Yeah, so like with social media and digital platforms growing, how do you see the future of local news evolving?
There's never going to be a time where people don't want to know what's going on, right? Like that's just what's going on. You hear a siren, you want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
There's Facebook pages that are dedicated to, reporting that, and they can be super fast because they just take a picture and say, well, this is what we see, so it's kind of like having a window. I don't know that that's good enough. It's fun. It's fast. It's frequently wrong, but nobody seems to care because it's just like, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
So we want to always be there. We need more reporters, not fewer reporters. We need more people, whether it's the newspaper, whether it's another TV station, radio station, digging in and finding out what's going on and keeping people accountable and keeping people informed.
Yeah. So like, what advice would you give to students or young people that wanted to get into broadcasting?
That want to get into broadcasting specifically, TV, I think, is becoming a more ubiquitous format, even as TV viewership goes down. Like nonprofits want to tell their story on video. Churches have video departments now. There's fewer jobs though in actual television. So I guess figure out what you want to do. Do you want to tell stories with video, or do you really want to be on the air doing that live?
Yeah.
The opportunity to advance is a lot because there's fewer people that are going into it. But yeah, if you're here in Fort Wayne, it is kind of a lower paying job right out of college that you're going to have to get a degree for, and then you're going to start not probably at a dollar figure that you want. So be prepared to pay your dues and move on or move up.
Yeah, that was all my questions. Thank you for your time, Mr. Rowley.
Well, thank you for having me here.
Thank you for watching.